Hey guys, what's up? So today we're over by my computer. Now this is where I do all of my, programming, my editing, and then also my gaming because my Series X is hooked up over here. So what I wanted to talk to you guys today about is just my experience with the next gen consoles. And while I don't have the PlayStation 5 yet, I think I'm gonna hold off on it because I was unsuccessful at buying faster than the bots. I figured I do have a Series X and I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna let someone else get that PlayStation 5 in the meantime until they're more readily available. But yeah, I am happy with my Series X. I love the speed, the resolution. We got 60 FPS now. Everything's hitting 60 FPS finally. It feels like for the first time in console gaming, everything is hitting 60 FPS or more. Of course, you have a few games that you can put into like a quality mode with like the ray tracing reflections and all this other stuff that you don't need. I drop it down to 30. But I think for the most part, most people are going to be playing in that performance mode. They're going to be playing in 60 frames per second and up. Usually with most consoles, new consoles, that's the time when I like to think about upgrading my TV. So that's what I did here. I got the LG CX model, the OLED 55-inch. That's what you're seeing here. It probably looks a little bit smaller since I'm sitting closer to the camera, but it is huge when I'm sitting this close to it. And I'm using this as my PC monitor as well. One of the reasons why I decided to upgrade to this is because of the HDR, right? Now, last generation, I do have a 4K display sitting right next to it. I believe that's a 40-inch. That's what I was using before. And that is a 4K display and it goes up to 60 frames. It's perfectly acceptable, right? And it was supposed to have HDR, but what I found out later is that a lot of TVs that say that they have HDR, it's actually kind of a faux HDR, or it's simulated HDR. It's not true HDR. So what I was supposed to be looking for was like HDR10, apparently. I didn't do enough research. So I didn't have true HDR. Even when you find a TV that has HDR10, there's a huge variance. Some of them have way higher contrasts and better colors. Bottom line, I went with this OLED because it's gonna have true HDR and the colors they just pop. Seeing this next to that TV with the same games running on both, oh my goodness, it is a night and day difference just how much better it looks. So I got it for the HDR, but I also got it because 120 frames per second, right? And variable refresh rate. These three main things that I wanted in my TV upgrade: variable refresh, 120 frames, and HDR. So while my old TV was good and perfectly acceptable for next generation, this one just really put it over the edge. And I think it was that combination of the Series X combined with this TV that just, oh man, it really made a big difference in my gaming. I just love it so much. So as you can see, when I'm using this as a PC, I don't even really use all of the space around here. And that's one of the nice things about OLED. So I just set my background to black, and that space is just not using power. So it's not backlit, it's not completely backlit like an LCD would be. These are just LEDs that are off. So it's almost as if I'm just using the power of a smaller TV. And then I have the option of expanding the space or moving the windows around or rearranging things however I see fit, which is super convenient for PC stuff. If I'm programming, I can have tons of code open here. I can have reference windows off to the side. I can have some sort of a tutorial or something playing in the corner. I love it for PC. And now finally, variable refresh, the TV supports G-Sync and FreeSync and all that. It's just been a perfect combination for me personally because I use my TV as my PC monitor as well. So it's been a phenomenal upgrade for me on both ends, the Series X, the next gen, and also my PC. So yeah, really happy with that. Now, as far as the Series X itself, I knew that all I wanted from the next gen console was more performance. And that's basically what we got, right? We got more performance. And normally we're just expecting better graphics, but in this case, we get the higher frame rates, we're getting the higher resolutions, and we're also getting faster load times. And that just has made a huge difference for me. Now, one thing I will say, which is also great about this generation, is you don't need to upgrade. If you can't get a hold of the next gen systems, the PlayStation 5 or the Series X, you can wait. But what I will say is though, if in the meantime, try to get games that have free updates to next gen whenever possible. You don't want to get like a PlayStation 4 game and then you end up getting a PlayStation 5 later. You'll want to play the next gen version and have to buy it again. That's one thing I would recommend, is try to get, even if you don't have a PlayStation 5 or Series X yet, try to get games that come with free updates. But other than that, I mean, the backwards compatibility is great. I love being able to play all of my old games, and so many of them have been improved. So many of them have been improved. Forza Horizon 4 looks phenomenal on the Series X. Gears of War 5 looks phenomenal too. And I already played through the campaign on Gears of War 5, and I played a lot of the multiplayer last gen. But they've added a ton of they have added all new campaign missions that you can play. They've added all new online stuff. They've added so much that it's like experiencing a new game or a new version of it for the Series X. And of course, yeah, those updates are available for previous gen too, but they're giving you content that's new, so that you're not just re-experiencing the same stuff. So I really like that. Forza Horizon 4 also gets new updates all the time. Sea of Thieves is one that I play regularly, but I'm kind of sick of having a disadvantage at 30 frames per second at 4K. Now finally, I get 60 frames a second at 4K. It looks great. It looks phenomenal. And so my multiplayer game has been a lot better. The input lag from the controller has been reduced. So, I mean, it already was really good to begin with, but with the Series X, it's even better. It's even more responsive. So phenomenal all around. I'm really happy with this generation. The games look great, and I really appreciate that boost in loading times are significantly reduced. I was so surprised. Even just the difference, I've got a video coming out soon too. I'm gonna show you guys the difference in like something on the Nintendo Switch even, which already I would say has decent load times for the most part, because it is a type of solid state. It's not like the high end whatever's in the Series X and the PlayStation 5, but it's a type of solid state, which is usually better than loading off a disk or a hard drive. So compared to that though, the same game, like on the Series X versus the Switch, and on the Series X we're talking 4K textures loading in, like on a game like the Panzer Dragoon remake, the load times are like 6 seconds or something like that to load the first level, whereas on the Switch it takes, I didn't time it, but it feels like a minute, right? So it's amazing. I'm really loving it, and I love the quick resume too. I didn't think I was gonna really use the quick resume much, but man, I'll be like, a game I haven't played in like 10 days, I'll come back to, and it's like, boom, it just brings me exactly where I left off. And even though I had just saved my game, I'm there right at that save menu, and I'm just like, wow, I didn't even need to save my game. I'm just already there. And I've rebooted my system, updated it and stuff like that. In the meantime, it's still there. It's awesome. I love it so much. But it is a thing that you can wait on, you know, because there's no exclusive games that you need to play right now. You know, you can wait on those games. So it's not super important to get the console right away, but I have to say, I'm really impressed. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to talk to you guys about my experience with next gen, which was kind of a combined experience of my TV upgrade and my Series X, and I'm so happy with it. I can't wait to eventually get a PlayStation 5. I want to try the DualSense. Sounds amazing. Those new controllers sound amazing. With the variable resistance and the triggers. I can't wait to experience that. But yes, I'm done trying to buy faster than the bots. I'm done with that. I'm gonna wait until the consoles are more easily available, so you can just go to the site anytime and click buy. I'll wait. I'll let someone else get that PlayStation 5 and experience next gen, because I'm perfectly happy with the Series X at the moment. I've got more than enough games to play, especially with Game Pass. Game Pass has been phenomenal. That's another thing that I have to say that I really appreciate, is usually when you buy a new console, you expect to be buying a bunch of games with it too. So imagine a $500 console, and then you're gonna want at least 2 games, if not 3 or 4, with that new console. So you're gonna be shelling out like another $300 in games, just about. But with Game Pass, I didn't have to do that. I already had Game Pass, so I didn't buy any games with my Series X. I just had a huge library of games that all were like A whole bunch of them were Series X enhanced. It's phenomenal. I've been playing Control, but apparently the next gen patch isn't out yet, so I'm gonna wait on that. I'm also waiting on Cyberpunk because, I mean, aside from its buggy state, I know a lot of people are complaining about the bugs and all that, but I'm more concerned with the next gen patch. I wanna play it, you know, you only get one first impression. I wanna experience Cyberpunk with the enhanced updates, you know, like the updated graphics for next gen. So I've been waiting on that anyway. Bugs aside, that, I mean, I could deal with, you know, 10 crashes in 24 hours or whatever it seems like people are getting on next gen consoles, but I can deal with that. But I want the full experience, so I'm gonna wait either way. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on next gen. I did a different kind of video. I hope it wasn't too boring, but until next time, I'll see you later.